Fitness Music Lounge. So good to see you here today. You guys, we are going to do something super exciting today. I'm really excited about it. I get nervous about interviews sometimes, especially interviewing my clients. It feels a little weird, but Nancy has done such an amazing job building her business, and I want you guys to be able to learn from her. So I have asked her to come on, and she has graciously agreed, and we are going to talk today to Nancy Ehle. Not only is Nancy a fantastic business builder, and she's had quite a year and still kept her business on track, kind of like I have, but she's also a Muscle Mix super fan. So stay through the end. We're going to try to keep this interview to like a half hour, maybe just a tiny bit longer. She's going to tell us about her world record. She's going to tell us about building her business, and she's going to tell us about her plans for the future, as well as we're going to talk a little bit about the Sell Out Your Workout Bootcamp and what she really took from that catapulted her business. So without further ado, let me say this first. Okay, with further ado, I'm Kelly Coulter. It's so good to be here. You guys, please come in, say hello. I have been a fitness instructor since the 90s, since 1994, and I've been an online marketing geek almost as long. So now these days, with the needs of the fitness industry and with all of you guys having had complete income stoppage and all of the things that happened around COVID, I started coaching fitness instructors on creating the business of their dreams, something that a lot of us didn't think was possible before COVID, right? So I coach fitness instructors on creating a business where they can work with the clients that they love. They can work from the convenience of any location that they want, and they can start to make an income that really makes a difference in their lives, in the lives of their families, and feels more like the income we deserve to be making. All right, so now without further ado, let's talk to Nancy. Hello, my friend.
Hello. I got such a kick out of the fact you mentioned that I'm a super fan of muscle mixes, because that's probably an understatement.
I don't know how I knew that, but one day when I was meeting with Denise, your name came up, and it was so funny because I thought she was saying L as in she didn't know your whole last name. So she was saying like L, like it started with L.
Gotcha.
And then I was like, wait a minute. Oh yeah, you're talking. And because in my brain, I had always pronounced it eel.
It's actually Ehle.
Ehle.
Ehle,
Oh,
yes. And you know what? That's one of the things I forgot to mention. This all came about between you and I so quickly. I usually do mention that when I'm going on camera with someone, that this is how you pronounce my last name.
thank you. I appreciate that. So, y'all, welcome Nancy Ehle. Please give us a comment. Let her know that you're here watching and cheering her on. And Nancy, why don't you give us a quick Nancy Ehle? Why don't you give us a quick rundown of your bio? And then the first thing I want to ask you about is that world record.
You betcha. Well, my name is Nancy Ehle. I am a group fitness instructor and a health coach. I've been teaching group fitness since 2012, and I've got several industry certifications. I am located in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So just right next to the Rocky Mountains, and we are enjoying just fabulous weather right now. It's just amazing. But again, I've been teaching since 2012. I am ACE certified. I'm also a Revelation Wellness instructor. That is a faith-based certification that brings the gospel into the classroom. Love, love, love that format. But my signature class is actually something called Walk 15, and it was a program developed by the creators of the Walk at Home program, Leslie Sansone, name many of you have probably heard, and I know Denise is very familiar with Leslie. She's the one who created this wonderful program that's suitable for all ages, all fitness levels. It's a walking-based group fitness class, and I love it. I have a huge long testimony that I won't get into about how I got into it, but the program itself changed my life. And I have not looked back. I had never set foot in a group fitness class before. And the very first class I ever attended was actually one I taught. But I was so hooked the first time I did it, and I have not looked back. And here I am.
Nancy, what a great story. What year was that?
That would have been 2011.
2011. So I actually have a similar story about step aerobics. I had taken
Mhm.
step aerobics for a long time, but the first time that I taught, I wasn't prepared to teach. I got up and completely winged it. I mean, taking a class and teaching a class are totally two
Yes,
different things.
absolutely. But it's amazing to me the things that happened in my life that prepared me for leading fitness classes. At the
Mhm.
time, I was leading worship in my church. And so I was used to working with music. I was used to giving hand signals to the band.
Yes,
So those things were just, wow, they just totally prepared me for being up in front of a class and leading. So yeah, it's just
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
I love that. What a great story. So, and we're going to hear another great story from you. I know you're super excited to tell it. You recently earned a world record and have your place and your medal in the Guinness Book of World Records.
My medal's upstairs. I should run and get
Oh my goodness.
it.
Yes.
But
Maybe
yeah,
later on I'll give a little bit of information about the boot camp,
yeah,
and
and then
then
I'll
while
run
I'm
and
doing
get it
that you can yes.
because it's really cool. Well, that all came about completely by accident this spring. I just happened to have something come up in my news feed on Facebook, and it was the group called Virtual Runners, and they said they were going to try to break a Guinness World Record. And I thought, and I saw the medal, and I went, "Oh, that
The
looks
bling the
so
bling is what did
cool."
it for you?
Absolutely, it's like I want that medal. But honestly, I used to run a lot, but I've never done a 10K. The longest I had ever done was 4 miles on a regular basis when I was running. But I haven't run in years. I'm 54 years old, and in high school and college, I ran a lot, and I loved it. I just loved it. But I got away from it for one reason or another. And I saw this thing, and I thought, Guinness World Record. You know what? This is the closest I would ever come to an Olympic medal if I did this. And I love the Olympics. Love, love, love. And I consulted a couple of friends and ran it by them, and they both said, you should do this. You would nail this. So I jumped in with both feet and started training in April or May, trained all through the summer. And we did it on the 19th of September. And what it was is they had people sign up from all over the world. And their goal was to break the record for the most number of people to do a 10K run virtually within a 24-hour period. And the record to beat was 1,035. They had over 25,000 entries that were submitted and accepted. So we blew the
Wow.
record out of the water.
What do you
And
think the key was for them getting all those people registered?
do you know, I don't know. I think part of it was because everything is virtual now. And with COVID, the virtual runs have become, and walks both have become very, very popular. I see them all the time now, and the numbers, like the people that are out doing these things now, I think really that's something that was a benefit in a sense of COVID, because people
Yeah.
were looking, what can I do virtually now? I can't go running out with my group anymore
Yeah.
necessarily, right? And
Well, it definitely advanced the trajectory of how things were already going in terms of
yeah,
adoption
yeah,
of the virtual technologies
that's
by
right.
about 10 years.
Right, right. And
Makes
it's
sense.
been quite the process to watch. And even with my own business, it's really interesting because the fall of 2019, I was inspired to build a studio in my basement. That's where I am right now. And I had no idea that within 6 months I was going to need it to teach virtually. I had no
Isn't
clue.
that crazy?
So I was ready. When COVID hit and everything started shutting down, I was ready. The only thing I needed to do was buy a new webcam. And bang, I was online just like that.
See, and again, you and I have a similar story there. I started doing video in the fall of 2019. I
Oh,
went to the
wow.
Rise Business Conference from Rachel Hollis,
Uh-huh.
who is the one who wrote Girl Wash Your Face and Girl Stop Apologizing. And she was all about creating your audience and building your audience through video. And she really taught a lot about it. And I was sold. And I started doing video in the fall of 2019.
Wow, that's
And
so
who
cool.
knew how much I would need it?
And look how far you have come in that time.
And you as well. Okay, so
I've been
tell us
having
before we get off the subject too much of the world record, I want to hear how many people ended up completing.
well, actually completing it is one thing. Having the results accepted is another, because they had over 100,000 people registered. Now, for one reason or another, I'm sure some people just in the end didn't do it. Something came up, whatever. But they had a lot of people who submitted their results and they didn't follow the rules. They didn't
Mm,
read the thing carefully. The Guinness World Record people are very, very specific. And the guidelines, you could not have one thing out of place or missing and it was be disqualified.
okay.
And so in the end, out of all of those people, and however many actually did the race, it was over 25,000 people. I don't remember the exact number. It was 25 one something, something like that. But that is amazing. And now they have to beat that next year.
And so every single one of them got a medal?
Yep. Well, it depends, because you could sign up and not pay anything and just do the thing and get your certificate. Or I paid the fee so that I got the medal and I also got some swag.
That is
Yeah,
so fun.
yeah. So
That is
it
so
was.
fun. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was cool. It was a first for me. First 10K. First time I've ever done anything like this. A Guinness World Record. That is so cool.
That is so cool. That is so cool. And we're going to talk in a little bit about personal growth. And I think this might just be a piece of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, when you think about it, I mean, everything I've been doing for my business this year, in some ways, what I did for the run kind of carried over into my
Mhm.
business, because three words come to mind: commitment,
Mhm.
consistency, and motivation. And
Boom, mic drop right there.
yeah, I had to have, oh, mic dropped, did you say?
No, I said mic drop, like boom,
Oh,
mic
yeah.
drop.
But really, I had to have those three things in order to complete it, because the training was hard.
Yeah.
But I remember the first training run where I hit 8 kilometers and I went, I can do this. It was the first time in all of the training runs where I actually felt, I'm going to do this. I know I can do 10. If I did this 8, I can do another 2. And what a feeling that was, that sense of accomplishment.
I'm getting like little tears in my eyes just thinking
Mm.
about it for you. That is amazing.
It was really cool.
I love it. Okay, so your business is called Walk Strong Calgary, which is a division of Witness for Fitness, your larger overarching
Yes,
business.
yes, that's correct.
And Walk Strong Calgary specifically started with the basement studio and with COVID, correct?
Well, the Walk Strong Calgary has been in place for some time. Both
Okay.
businesses, Witness for Fitness, which that the business name itself is interesting how that came about. But Witness for Fitness, I love it, and it's Witness with the number 4, just
Mhm.
because I like numbers. But Witness for Fitness describes what I do, because I witness for fitness, but it also describes who I am. I am a witness for fitness. And Walk Strong Calgary just developed out of that. I was doing several different things when I first started in 2012, and I decided to do my walking based fitness classes under the umbrella of Walk Strong Calgary. And
Mhm.
that's where I do most of my promotion and everything, because most of my classes are the walking based programs that I teach.
Excellent, excellent. And prior to, so the first time you and I met, you did boot camp with me. You
Yes,
did the Sell
correct.
Out Your Workout boot camp. Do you remember which month it was?
I think it was December, because I'm pretty
Oh,
sure I started the
are we coming
accelerator
up on a
in
year?
January. We are coming up on 1 year. I need
Oh
to
my
talk to you
goodness.
about that, by the way.
Yes. Yes, I'm very late on sending out all my continuity offers for the October and November
Awesome.
people, so I've got it on my list for today. Um, so in December, you took the Sell Out Your Workout boot camp with me, and at that time, where was your business at?
Well, I was teaching online exclusively at that time because, of course, everything had shut down. I was up and running, and I was teaching for one community association who contracted me to teach virtually on their Facebook page, which was fabulous. And I was teaching my own, but I didn't have a platform at the time. I was just doing everything right on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
And what a change that boot camp. One of the biggest things I got out of that was the on Podio platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to take that and start dropping things into there and start using that and promoting that platform, which for me is fantastic because all of my pre-recorded videos are there on demand. It's
Mm-hmm.
so wonderful. It was just so easy, so much easier for me than what I was trying to do, which was everything through Zoom and YouTube unlisted links, right?
Sending all the links everywhere and trying to make sure this
Yeah,
person got one and this
yeah,
person
that's right.
didn't. Mhm.
That's right. And it changed. It really, that boot camp changed my business. I had to kind of almost in a sense go back to the drawing board, and I needed to take a new direction. I needed to just kind of revamp everything in my mind as far as what is this going to look like for me going forward. And I was loving teaching virtually, and I knew even then I knew I would go back to teaching live at some point, but I would still keep the virtual classes going indefinitely.
So
So
smart.
yeah, it was just, oh, it was good timing. And I would be remiss if I didn't do a shout out to Heather Byers, because she's the one that invited me to the boot camp. And Heather and I know each other through the Walk 15 program. We're both instructors, and we've done some stuff together this past year, which has been wonderful. I took her workshop before I started mine. And she's the one that said, Nancy, I think this would be a really, really good thing for you, even if you just did the boot camp and didn't take it any further. And she was so right. No regrets.
Oh, that is awesome. Thank you for saying that. And yes, Heather is amazing. And you guys both have some really strong programming coming out of you, and which is so fortunate for your clients, because without learning to go direct to consumer and without letting go of the perfection, I know you wanted me to mention that, without letting go of the perfection and just
Yes,
getting in and getting started,
yes,
there are so
yes,
many people. You've got 30 regular clients now that are coming to you for their fitness classes that don't have to leave their house, and
yes.
you can work directly with them and impact their lives.
Yes, that's right. And about the perfection piece, that was the other thing that I really got out of the boot camp. My eyes lit up when you said you do not have to have a finished product in order to launch.
Mhm.
That I needed to hear that. You have no idea, because I was working on some stuff in the background before COVID hit. And one of them was to do a workshop and take my coaching to a broader audience virtually, because I had kind of stepped back from the coaching because I was focusing more on the group fitness. And, but I wanted to still incorporate that in. But I kept thinking I had to work at it and work at it and work at it before I launched. And you said that, and I went, oh, I could do that. And you develop it as you go. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working on right now. And it's, yes.
I mean, that's what we do as instructors. We go one to many. And
Yeah.
so when you can leverage these brilliant programs that you've got in your own head that combine your energy, your expertise, your education with your passion and your personality,
Yes.
that's when you really have an authentic program. You can go direct to consumer, and there's an audience for it. And it does not need to all be in the can before you can sell it.
Yes. And that was so liberating for me.
I
It
love it.
really, really was, because I'm like, oh, yes. That made so much sense
Let's
to
do
me.
that.
I am a little bit of a perfectionist, and it's like, one of the things I love about teaching group fitness is it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, I came from an administrative background, worked behind a desk for over 30 years before I started teaching fitness. And so much of what I did professionally before, it was about perfection. And when I started teaching fitness and doing some of the, other people's classes and stuff, it's like, I love this. Nobody's coming and telling me you're doing it wrong. And why are you doing it like that? It's like, you're moving. And as long as you're doing it safely, I'm happy. That in itself is liberating too.
Such a good point. I mean, nobody's coming into the class at the gym and saying, this is not perfect, or
Yeah.
I mean, we like to be perfect in front of our people, but it's never going to happen.
That's the thing. Even as an instructor, we laugh so much in class because it's usually me who, okay, we're doing this, and then my legs do something totally different. And like, oops. And we just laugh and carry on, right? I've spent so much of my life in environments where that wasn't the case. And you get this sense of oppression and this weight on your shoulders because you feel it has to be perfect, and it doesn't. And even what I'm doing right now in building my business going forward doesn't have to be perfect. I give myself permission for it not to be perfect.
I
I just know it's going to be a good product, and I know that if I keep my clients first and have their best interests at heart and love on them and care for them, it's going to be a good thing.
Oh, so good. You just brought up such a good point because so y'all, Nancy is not only a former boot camp participant of mine, but she's also in my 12-month business accelerator. And in the accelerator, a lot of times we get so in our heads, like, this marketing thing didn't work, or I didn't get as many clients as I wanted, or, we'll start doing that downward spiral thing. And then what do I always say? Just come back to your servant leader heart, serve your people. Nothing else matters. When you get in and you serve not only your paid participants, but your audience at large, then all of a sudden everything else lines up.
That's right. And I mean, things lined up for me so well at the end of this year because I actually had to take a break, not from teaching, but I was trying to build this workshop and my 8-week program that just launched. I was trying to build it earlier this year, as you know, and I had some personal circumstances come up. I do suffer from mental burnout, and I could feel that some things were starting to happen again, and I needed to give myself permission to take a step back, and I took the summer off. And then I'm just ready, knew I was ready to start rolling with this. And part of it, again, is the consistency, being there for people. And I started earlier in the year with the Facebook group, which of course is taught in Bootcamp. And every single week, other than the break I took, I was there for them live once a week, same time every week, same day every week. And people got to know, oh, Nancy's going to be live at 7:00 Thursday. I'm not going to miss that. I saw she's doing this topic this week. Oh man, I don't want to miss that. Even if they caught the replay. But I carried that on throughout the year. So when I was ready to launch that 3-session workshop, people were ready for it.
Which happened just last month.
Just 2 weeks ago, actually.
Yes. Okay. So tell us about it. Tell us about the participation in the workshop, and then you had an offer at the end of the workshop, and you pitched your offer. And tell us about the results.
Well, the workshop itself, I did 3 hours over 3 evenings, and I gave a lot of value in that workshop. I used my coaching program as a basis, and the first session was about assessments, where we did things like body mass index and waist to hip ratio and blood pressure. We looked at cardiovascular disease risk, all these kinds of things, gave everybody a baseline. Then the next session, we added on to that. And I can't remember what the topic was the second session, but I think we did nutrition, some stuff on nutrition, again, just adding some value. And end of that session, I pitched the 8-week program that would start the following Monday. The third and final session, we talked about barriers. Basically, anticipating, because you know life is going to happen. What are the things that you can already envision that may get in your way? How are you going to deal with those? We also did goal setting.
So good.
The other thing we did, the second session, was goal setting. We went over that SMARTER acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time bound, evaluate, and reward. My favorite. Do you know what? I forgot. I didn't reward myself for that Guinness thing. I need to do that.
Heck
But
yes.
that's what we did the second session. So by the third session, people's their wheels are already turning, and they're thinking, okay, where am I going to go with this? And they've already heard about the offer and what it's going to entail: an 8-week coaching program on a group level. I gave them a 2-week workout schedule right up front, that even if they didn't sign up, they had it as a baseline to start. And that schedule was based on on Podio on-demand classes. So they could buy into that right away and get started, right? And so on the third session, again, we talked about barriers that may come up, with some other things mixed in there, and lots of interaction. It was a great group, lots of interaction from the people, with great questions and great examples from their own personal stories, that kind of thing. And then it was a matter of, what are your plans going forward? And we talked about that. And right away, I had several people sign up. And
For the 8-week program.
for the 8-week program, yes. And actually, I had one person sign up before we even got to the Tuesday session.
That is
She just said,
amazing.
Nancy, I know this is going to be good. I am definitely doing this. And so they had until Sunday night. This was a Wednesday. They had till Sunday to sign up. And so I reached out to people individually and as a group. And but I think by Saturday at 1:00, every person that wasn't a fitness instructor, because I did have some fitness instructors come in to see what I was doing, and because we always support each other in that way, which is wonderful. But all of my, I would say the regular people that have either been coming to my classes or following me in my regular group, every single one of them signed up. And I was like, it's like, I get this email, ping, and there's somebody signed up. Ping, there's another one. Oh, there's another one. And there's another one. And so I'm like, and
Oh my gosh, what an amazing feeling.
one gal, I had to laugh. She is just so sweet. She didn't do the registration form, which is fine because she's a personal friend of mine. But she sent me an electronic funds transfer, and I looked at the amount and I thought, I know she wants to sign up for the 8-week program, and she sent me the amount for just the regular monthly on Podio virtual stuff, right? So I emailed her back and I said, are you sure this is what you wanted? Because I know you would really benefit from this 8-week program. This is right up your alley. Everything you're going through. And I said, this is what you can do. Because I know, so for some people, finance is an issue. And I suggested, what if you paid half now and half later? Pay for November and December separately. And she came back right away and she said, I'm in. And that's exactly, she made a boo-boo and she said, yes, let's do that. And bam, she was the last person. And
so good.
Oh my word. I wasn't expecting it. I really wasn't. I thought, if I get 2 or 3 people out of the group, and I will say this, I limited the enrollment to only 10 people. And I did that on purpose. This is a pilot project for me. I'm developing it as I go. And because of my mental burnout, and I do work a job on the side that's very intense, I needed to be careful not to overwhelm myself. And I am so glad I did it that way. For me,
which is another thing we talk about a lot, is just knowing you, understanding how much you want to work, understanding,
your limits.
Yes, absolutely. So good.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the next one, who knows?
Well, that's true, because you've raised your capacity now to be able to serve that number of people and onboard that number of people. Your brain feels okay with it. Your brain's going to be safe. So now next time you can just stretch it a little bit, or stretch it a whole lot, whatever you're feling ready to do.
That's right. That's right.
So good. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. You've been wonderful to work with. I've again, because of personal circumstances, anybody who's considering, the boot camp and knowing that the accelerator program is an option after that, I was not able to participate nearly as much as I would have liked to, as you know. Uh, but still, every time I was able to get on a live or go back and watch one of the replays, every single video, I would get something out of it and I would be motivated. And really, a lot of it for me, that was part of it, is just keeping the momentum going throughout the year, even though I did have to take that little break.
So
And
good.
yeah,
So good. Love it. I love it. Thank
happy
you so much.
birthday.
Okay, so you said kind of the biggest thing that the accelerator has done for you then has been the motivation in your business, keeping you on track, personal growth.
Yes, very, very definitely. And I long story, but I have had a lot of many struggles over the years, all of my life, with low self-esteem, low self-worth, and lack of confidence. And people see me and they really find that hard to believe, because it doesn't show. It's something that's internal, and it's a battle I've had all of my life. And this has really helped me get over some fears. Like, number one, fear of failure has always been a huge deal for me. And just continually building the confidence, and the just knowing that, just looking at how people jumped on board for this 8-week program, even, I am obviously doing something right. I mean, people are seeing value in what I am doing, and for me as a person. And
So good.
so, I just feel so good about the whole thing, and no regrets whatsoever in signing up for that, the accelerator, for sure.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to give a little bit of information now about the boot camp, and I'll take you off the screen and you go get the medal if you don't mind.
No,
And
done,
share.
done, fine. I do know
Okay.
where it is.
All right, cool. You go get that and then come back and we'll show that and then we'll adios. Okay. So, y'all, Nancy referenced the boot camp a few times. Of course, you've heard me talk about it. It happens for the last time this year on November 15th to the 19th. It's a 4-day live taught boot camp. I come in every day. I do a live lesson. You can ask your questions. I'll be able to answer them right there. We do a homework implementation session that's separate. Everything is recorded, so it all stays in this private pop-up Facebook group. And then after 4 days, you have a few more days to access that content. And I'll be doing some bonus content on mindset, on cash injections, all kinds of really good stuff. We do a bonus 5th day that's specifically about business structure. I have had over 800 instructors come through this boot camp, and y'all, it changes lives. People come in, they hear exactly how to get clear on what they're offering and who they're offering it to, and all of a sudden they start making sales. I've had people make $500. I've had people make $1,000. I've had people come into the boot camp and in that 4 days make $2,000 and beyond. So it happens because the information is completely tuned into exactly what we need as fitness instructors and personal trainers going direct to consumer. We've all been employees and we don't really have that skill set of being able to go direct to consumer and make an offer in a way that's authentic. I don't know if you guys saw my man with a sign picture today that I put up on Instagram, but it said, "Stop direct messaging your pitch." So in the boot camp, you will learn all about how to make offers to the right people without being sleazy or salesy or annoying. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So you go to fitprosconnect.com, fitprosconnect.com/bootcamp, and you register there. It's a $47 boot camp. I still do have a few of those free t-shirts left. So if you get registered right away, you might be one of those people that gets one of those Rising Tide Lifts All Boats t-shirts, and I would love to send that to you. So go to fitprosconnect.com/bootcamp and get registered, and we get started on Monday. And so I just want to give you guys that information. And now I'm going to bring Nancy back on, and she's going to show us her Guinness Book of World Records medal.
Da, 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 da.
So pretty. Ooh, that is nice.
Isn't that neat?
Yes, I love
Yeah.
it.
I
And
took one look at it and I went, okay, I really want that.
Mhm. That will be mine.
Really, really cool. They are doing it again next year, and they're actually adding several different distances. You can do a 5K. I think it's a 5K, a 10K, could be a 3K, 5K, 10K, and 15K.
I love it. I'm gonna get me one next year.
Awesome.
Ooh, and maybe we'll organize a walk to go with your program.
That would be
Do the
very
largest walk.
cool. Yeah.
All right, my friend. Well, thank you so much, you guys. Thank you for being here to listen. I'd love for you guys to congratulate Nancy one more time. She's really got some awesome momentum in her business, and it's so exciting to see for you. And I'm just so happy for you and proud of you.
Thanks, Kelly. It's been a treat working with you all year.
Thank you so much. All right, you guys. So that's what we have got. We're going to sign off. Direct message me with any questions. Get registered for the boot camp, and I will see you there. All right. Bye, Nancy.
Bye.